Good morning. Welcome to today's conversation. We're sharing another miraculously realistic tool today. And I'm watching people online feel like they're having a really hard time. And I wanted to honor the hard time that people are having because it's not always easy to use these tools when you're feeling really low. And gratitude, I know, is a great tool. You know is a great tool, but some days it's just like it feels too hard to be grateful for things. And so if you're feeling like it's very heavy and very hard to be grateful, I've got an expert here today who's going to help you with this. This is my friend and colleague, Kelly Covert. She is an inner voice coach, and she is the host of the podcast In Her Voice. I'm going to turn everything over to Kelly today so that she can teach you how to use gratitude as a tool, even when it feels really heavy and hard to do so. So thanks, Kelly, for joining us. I'm really excited to hear what you have to teach us today.
And thanks so much for having me, Jen. I'm so excited to be here. It's fun to see you. I miss seeing you in person.
I miss. We were supposed to have a coffee last week.
I know. I know. Maybe we'll still need to have a Zoom coffee here. Like I have my coffee right here just in case. But I, like everyone, I feel like I've been feeling all of the feels the past couple of weeks. I saw, I got an email from school and it said it's only been a week. I was like, what? It's only been a week. It just feels like every day feels like a year these days. And I've been finding myself feeling really anxious. And I'm not normally an anxious person. And so that's been an interesting experience for me. And I feel like I have a lot of empathy now for people who feel that way on a day-to-day basis, right? And so I have really been sitting with what can I do for myself as I'm home all day with my kids and working from home and not able to go anywhere. What can I do that will really help ease my anxiety? It keeps me grounded in the most important things. And for me, that has always been gratitude. But, before all of this happened, my gratitude practice was like, if I remembered it in the morning or if I remembered it before I went to bed, I would write a few things down. And I just made a promise to myself last week that this was going to be something that I was going to double down on. I was going to find a way to include it in my routine. So it just became part of what I'm doing every day. And it's made such a big difference for me. So one of the things that I found to be super helpful for me in this, and when I talk about a gratitude practice, literally what I'm doing is I'm writing down on a page everything that I can think of that I'm grateful for. And for me, really what this does is it reminds me it's really not as bad as we think.
Can you give us an example of something that doesn't feel too heavy that you can see that you have gratitude for? Because I think people go down this rabbit hole and their brain gets really noisy and it's hard to take out a piece of paper and write the things you're grateful for because we immediately think it's supposed to be something epic or amazing. Yeah. Can you give us an example of some of the things that go on your list?
Oh my gosh, sure. So last night I was writing on my list. What did I have last night? Lasagna. Because I made lasagna the night before and I still had some. Mm-hmm. I am always grateful for coffee. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful for my boys being able to get their work done quickly and enjoy themselves. We got them a new computer, and so I'm grateful for that. But once it's interesting because I usually start with the lighter things, right? Like I'm grateful that we can be at home. I'm grateful that we have heat in our house. Mm-hmm. And then it starts to get deeper. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful that we have Zoom and that we can have this connection, right? And that we are all online and we're all in this together. I'm grateful for the people who are out there working. I'm grateful I don't have to go out. Mm-hmm. And I
really love this point that you're making right now. I'm grateful I don't have to go out. I'm grateful because where my head sometimes goes when I have that moment of gratitude, grateful for toilet paper, is I start to go down the path of like guilt and feeling about all the people who have to go out and what's wrong with me that I get to stay home. Like there's the guilt creeps in sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't have room for guilt right now.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. Guilt, I find only sends me into a downward spiral.
Okay.
Because another thing that's been popping up for me during these days at home are perfectionism. So, I feel like I have to do everything right. Like I am going to win this lockdown, right?
You're going to get the trophy at the end, Kel.
I am going to get a gold star. People are going to be like, that Kelly, she did lockdown right.
She did the quarantining. Gold star for Kelly.
Yeah. And you know what? And what happens is if I go down that path, if I don't do something right, like if I lose it with my kids, or, I say I'm going to work out and I don't work out, or whatever is the thing, then I'm not perfect. Right. And then if I feel guilty about that, I'm like, well, forget it. Where are the jelly beans?
You go even further down the rabbit hole. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then I start feeling sorry for myself. And you know what? It's hard to do when you're feeling sorry for yourself and you're in a place of guilt.
Be grateful.
It's feel gratitude. Exactly right. Exactly right.
And so I won the gold star today. I got the answer.
Yay, Jen, A+. A+ for you. Yeah. So I just feel like gratitude is the antidote to so many things that can pop up for us that can really derail our emotional health right now. And that's what I'm really focused on for myself, is like, how can I stay emotionally and spiritually healthy right now during this time? Because it's interesting. I was thinking about this last night, about how this opportunity to be home all day and to be really present with your emotions, we have the time and space to figure out what's going on and to see the tools really working in our lives. Like so often our reason or our excuse for not doing something is that we don't have time. Guess what? That's not an excuse right now. We have all of the time. And I just really feel like if we can use a little bit of that time to steep ourselves in gratitude, that's what I've been calling it. Like it's like I'm a tea bag, and I'm just like, I'm steeping myself in that and like letting it soak in all of me. And like you said, not making it hard.
Not making it hard. And so sometimes I have to go to something really simple, like grateful for my breath. I'm grateful that I'm breathing right now. Like sometimes it really has to be as simple as that. Or I'm grateful for the moon. There's actually birds that fly outside. Then there's a feeder right outside my window here, and I'm really grateful for those birds. And sometimes it really has to be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be a deep, philosophical exploration of my psyche to be grateful.
Mine hardly ever are.
I like that.
Yeah, I think it's in the simplicity of the gratitude that you find you have so much. When you can be grateful, well, all Central New Yorkers are grateful for the sunshine.
Yes.
But when you can feel grateful for how beautiful the snow is, even though you didn't want it to snow, that is what makes the difference. Like that's what reminds you, like we have so much right now, and we have so much time, and we have so much beauty in our lives, and we have so much ability to be able to dig in and bring comfort to ourselves. Like we can really, the word that's coming up for me is parent ourselves, just like we're bringing comfort to our children.
It's really funny you say the word parent, because I think about when I was a child, there was this thing that my parents used to say to us all the time about, you should be grateful for what you have, because there are children in China who don't have this food. And I literally always wanted to say to my mom, can you put my peas in an envelope and send it to a child who would like really enjoy it? And so this gratitude thing was a shift for me from a shame thing, a shoulding kind of thing, to a tool for me rather than a shaming kind of thing.
We got that all the time when we were growing up. You're so ungrateful.
You're so ungrateful.
You're so ungrateful.
And I was ungrateful. I was a kid. What the hell did I know?
Yeah, for sure. But I think that's the thing, is we have to incorporate it into our day in an effortless and seamless way.
Right.
And one thing that's been really helping me is it's this, I'm going to say it and you're going to be like, well, duh. But it really makes a difference. So I've been doing my gratitude practice in the evening before I go to bed. And I keep my journal that I do it in right on the couch with a pin always connected to it.
Mm-hmm.
And usually my husband and I are watching something on TV. He usually goes up to bed a little bit earlier than I do. And as an introvert, honestly, I've been craving alone time. I've gotten like zero alone time.
Right.
So when he goes up to bed, my kids are in bed. That is my alone time. And so I'm on the couch already. I have my journal right there. And I know I'm not getting up from this couch until this is done. It's become part of the
your bedtime
routine.
routine.
Yeah. And so I want to make it as easy as I can. So that means that the journal literally stays on that couch with the pen. And if I notice during the day that the pen went missing, I'll just remember to put the pen there, because if I have to get up
It's not
at 9:30 to get the pen,
yeah.
no way. No
My
way.
gratitude happens as I'm in bed. I don't like to journal, that like it's not where I find joy. So I just do it in my head, and I put my head on my pillow, and then I start to breathe, and I start to think about, I use the word appreciation because sometimes the word gratitude can just feel too heavy for me. So I say, I appreciate, what did I appreciate today? And then I often
love that.
fall asleep just thinking about the things I appreciated today.
Mm-hmm. I love that so much. And I think that's what's important, is you have to figure out the way to bring it into your day that feels easy. Because if it feels hard,
you're not going to do it.
You're not going to do it. Yeah. Or you're going to do it one day and you'll be like, yes. And then you're not going to do it the next thing. You're going to feel guilty about that.
It really is a cumulative effect.
Yeah.
It gets easier and easier and easier.
100%.
Yeah. Well, I love this easy tool. And I love the switch from, like, first of all, there's no shame around it. You shouldn't be grateful. It's not like you should be grateful. Like, just cultivate gratitude. And then make it easy. And it doesn't have to be like terribly deep or philosophical, and don't go down the rabbit hole. These are all really easy shifts to make, Kelly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And always with grace, everything with grace.
And what does grace mean to you?
Grace means to me that if I screw it up, it's totally okay.
Yes, totally okay.
Like there's it covers all of my mistakes and it covers all of my imperfections. And it reminds me that, yes, I am human. And there is a new day, a new hour. Sometimes I need grace by the hour. It just helps me get through in reminding myself that I don't have to be perfect. And when I try to be perfect, that feels really bad.
Yeah. We think there's going to be some kind of trophy at the end of being perfect, but it never winds up helping.
Oh, never.
We could do a whole
and I also think now is not the time, especially our nervous systems all are on high alert right now. And now is not the time to put all of this on top of yourself. Like, to do like quarantine goal setting may not be
a good move for you.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm just like, I'm really like trying to figure out what's helping me feel better. And gratitude.
And it changes hour by hour.
Oh, yeah.
But gratitude for you is always a very grounding source.
100%. 100%.
So, first of all, if you're listening to this, you can hear how soothing Kelly's voice is. And you should listen to more of her voice, because she's got a wonderful podcast called In Her Voice. Kelly, where can you find In Her Voice?
You can find In Her Voice anywhere you listen to podcasts. And also you can listen straight from my website at, what's my website? kellycovert.com.
So you have a podcast where you help women overcome perfectionism, find their inner voice, and you are an inner voice coach. And sometimes you do interviews and sometimes you do solo shows, but you're always got this kind of self-care, self-soothing, self-love message to help women find who they are and express that. So I love that. And then how can people find you on the socials?
So I'm Kelly J. Covert everywhere. And I'm especially active over on Instagram. I've been trying to pop into my Instagram stories every day with some encouragement and some real living, as we shall call it right now. And I love to connect with people there. And if you have any questions about gratitude or about what's going on, you can always email me. And that's easy too, kelly@kellycovert.com.
If somebody is listening to this replay and is recovering, is a perfectionist who wants to go into recovery, doesn't have time for guilt, wants to cultivate a gratitude practice, Kelly is your person. So reach out to Kelly. You can find her at her email address on Instagram and at her website. And Kelly, I just want to thank you because we really need this tool right now. And sometimes it just feels too hard to use it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Jen.
Appreciate you.
I'm so excited to share.
Thank you. Bye, Kel.
Bye.